we are. Episode 2.
Cheers.
Cheers, darling.
That was fun.
Yes.
I had a great time.
Virgins to Vixens. A real estate story.
But you know what I love about our name? Can I just go back to that?
Let's talk about it.
So we were virgins because we were Virgin America flight attendants together.
Correct.
And then we became Vixens because we went through all of the things that Virgin America flight attendants did. And then we got married.
Yes.
You to the love of your life.
Yes.
Me to the man of the moment who gave me my beautiful daughter, Brooklyn.
Yes.
So,
yes.
bless all of it. And it's amazing. And then Virgins to Vixens because at one point we were both virgins in real estate. And now you're a freaking vixen, and I'm working my way through the.
You're on your way, baby.
Up. My numbers are. I'm just adding my
banging
numbers,
them out,
right? And so I will become a vixen soon, and then also virgins to vixens in a spiritual way, right?
Yeah.
Because when we first met back in 2008, we were not as spirit as. Wait, hold on. I will get there. Our growth, we had not reached our full potential.
Right.
Of our manifesting, of our spiritual growth. I mean, we are both so into bettering ourselves.
Yes.
With every we go to, workshops and we read the books and we just want to learn.
We've done the work.
We've done the work.
Absolutely.
So now 15 years later, we look back on those really children, right?
Yes.
Back in 2008. And I know, don't believe me. I know that when we look back 15 years from now to this version of ourselves.
Be like, look at our baby selves.
We will also call ourselves babies, but that's the most beautiful thing, right? I have goosebumps because it's like we are all just growing and evolving. And that's what this is about, is Virgins to Vixens. It's about growing and evolving. And you have been my just a mentor through all this, because even when I remember when I called you on the phone and I was like, Grace, I'm doing it. I found this wholesale. I'm gonna do this. And you were like, girl, you are leveling up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like,
and it's scary.
It is scary.
I think you just needed somebody to tell you to do it. Because there's so many, be careful whose advice you buy in this life.
Yeah.
Ladies, if you're listening.
And gentlemen.
Don't ever take advice from someone who's not doing what you want to do.
Amen. 100%.
Right?
Okay, if I may.
Yes.
Back in literally when I was in my first marriage, when I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
Back in I'm not going to say 90 something.
Yes.
And I remember he was a huge Anthony Robbins fan back then.
Yeah.
That's how long Anthony Robbins has been around, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But the thing I learned from those podcasts is never, ever ask advice from somebody who has not done what you want to do. Because of course people's dreams get crushed every day because they don't believe, they don't do what they're supposed to do. So if you ask that person whose dreams have been crushed,
or who is completely fearful. There are a lot of people who are like, what if it goes wrong?
Right.
What
Worst
if it's
case
bad?
scenario.
What if you end up out on your ass with nowhere to live because you're in poverty because you failed?
Right.
So I think
Never.
Exactly. Never take advice from someone who hasn't been where you are and has maybe done a little bit more. I don't take advice from family members, except my aunt and uncle, because
as we learned,
because they are my mentors, but they stopped. So they took their investing so far, and now I kind of mentor them, or I say, well, would you like to do something like this? But they're retired. They're fine.
Because you're
They're happy.
Expanding, Grace.
But and this is so interesting. I want to talk about your mother for 1 second. Christina's mom, Joycey, is the most expansive person I've ever met.
Incredible.
And I learned so much just by being around her. She is older now. I'm not going to reveal her age, but the woman doesn't stop.
She doesn't. She's literally writing a book right now about travel to learn to travel. It's a spiritual travel book. It's going to be incredible. I mean,
she meditates for hours a day.
I'll tell you, she's 73 years old, and she wants me to teach her Squarespace.
Yes.
To build her own website.
Yes. This is what I'm talking about.
She just got her Instagram account up and running.
This is what I'm talking about.
She's
is
amazing.
Forever curious. Always learning. And what she instilled in you was a fearlessness that no matter what, you're okay because your home is here.
Yeah.
Right?
I have to say my dad too.
Your dad
I'm not
too.
Gonna leave him out.
No.
He always
no,
would tell
100%.
me I could do anything I wanted as long as I put my mind to it. But of course, my mom was like my mentor. But I can't just leave my dad.
No, you can't.
Out.
No, but I was just saying, like, she's such an inspiration because I was thinking about how you said, like, looking back on us 20 years from now, how we're going to think we're babies.
Right.
I hope that we continue to expand.
Oh, of course we will.
And I know we will.
Look at you.
But like that's the whole point.
Yeah, but
it's the journey.
That's it. And it's not always about just wanting more. It's
no.
not about wanting more.
No, it's not about acquisition.
It's not about acquisition. It's just that I don't want to stop learning.
No,
I just love learning.
That's why real estate is so fun. Because
right?
there's always the deep end of the pool. There's always some weird
a deeper end.
Right?
There's always the ocean.
Vast
the blackness.
Ocean.
Yes.
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 And that's what's so inspirational because if you're quick and you're adventurous and you take risks, then you're going to master things. And then it's just kind of boring and you need something else. Like I have a home staging company and I love staging. I love furniture. I'm also an interior designer, but it's run its course in that I'm not getting this like inspired, excited feeling of butterflies in my stomach when I stage houses anymore.
It's become rote. And
it's just time to let that part go because whatever comes next, I'm giving myself room to see whatever comes next. You know, you have to make room in your life for the next big thing.
100%. So that reminds me of something I read. Of course, if you're single and you want a partner, don't sleep in the middle of the bed.
Yes.
Sleep on one side.
Welcome in the partner energy.
You're welcoming in the partner energy, right? And that's really at
right. Don't let your kids sleep in your bed.
Right. Oh, really?
They're taking up that space.
Oh, no, I love snuggling my daughter. I'm not gonna lie.
But
no, her little leg around me in the middle of the night, it's the most precious thing I've ever felt.
Do you have room though?
I do. Other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then.
Other side. No, I get what you're saying. Okay, so maybe I'm not ready because I just love her.
I don't think you're ready.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
This is your you doing you era.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, so back to making room and like they say, back to manifestation, babe. I know I'm going to quote her a lot because she's a big inspiration in my life right now. Is she says if you the first thing about clearing your money is to clear out your wallet. Right?
Yes.
You have
Get
to
rid
clear
all
out
those
your
papers
wallet, all the papers, make room
yes.
for money. You want to clear out your closet because I have so found that, Grace.
Yes.
Have you not found that?
Oh, yeah.
When I'm ready to be mentally clear, my house can't be cluttered. I go through, I'm like a mad woman. I'm poultry obsessed. Drawer, my catch-all drawer.
Yes.
I'm obsessed, right? But when I'm not feeling good and I'm kind of down because we all get there, my house is a fucking mess.
So this has everything to do with energy and intention. And yes, when you get rid of stuff that is no longer serving you, you are making space for something else to come in and inspire you and carry you forward. And I clear stuff out constantly for that reason.
Yeah.
I'm always moving things around.
So what do you think is going to replace the staging? I'm really curious. Is it Section 8 or you don't know
It might
yet?
be Section 8.
It might be.
It might be Italy. It might be it might be anything. I don't know. We are on the cusp of I don't know. There's always something new to do and there's always something new to learn.
But you have to be open for it.
Absolutely.
Ready for it.
And I want to talk about real estate for a second because in the last episode, we talked a little bit about joining a RIA.
Yes.
And you talked about how you found your hard money lender through your RIA. So did I. And my hard money lender, I've done 100 houses with him. I've done 100 flips. I can text him an address and say, will you do the loan on this house? And I can tell him the price and when it closes. And he just writes back, yes.
Because you've proven to him.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. And he has a wholesaling business. And if he finds anything that is historic, juicy,
right,
something I would love,
he calls you.
First. Sure. I get first tips.
Of course.
And my flip I'm doing right now.
You got from him.
I got from him. And he's like, and of course I'll do the loan if you want. And I'm like, yeah. Perfect.
Of course.
Awesome.
So that's kind of why back to the first episode of how come I asked you, why would you do this versus this? Like 12% versus the probably a little bit of it was relationship, right?
Which they mean the world.
Exactly. Because you're like, what's 2% more? I'll give to him. He got me the deal. It's a relationship. Oh, 100%.
Also,
I get it.
In real estate, you learn very quickly who you can trust, who you can't, and why you can't take it personally. But the people that you can trust, your team, whoever it is, I've got the most kick-ass lenders and wholesalers and hard money lenders and contractors. They will drop everything to help me with whatever it is, and I do the same for them.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And I value them, I value their time and their expertise. But what's really fun, Christina, because I just did this in Memphis, building your team in a new market. Because I've been building my team in Arizona for 10 years.
Exactly.
I just built one in Memphis in 1 year, and I have a kick-ass realtor, a great lender, a great property manager, a great cleaner, I have a guy that I can text who will just come pick up the cardboard boxes on the side of the road if I put a house together. You know, like
but
I built a team.
Have the experience.
Yes.
That's what it is.
What I'm saying is once you've done your first team building, you can spot good in other people like that. You're like, that person knows what they're doing. I want to work with them.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's so back to the newbie in the situation. So I have a hard money lender named Larry and Janet, and they are amazing in the Palm Desert area. And that's what they said. They said they are so excited to see what I do with this flip.
Yes.
And they are so excited to see what I do in the future. And he had a really amazing conversation with me when I borrowed the money from him, because $300,000 is a lot of money, because you have to think about it. These private money, hard money lenders,
they're putting
their personal money
on the line.
You are not dealing with a Wells Fargo.
No.
You are not dealing with a Fortune 500 company. You're dealing with a couple, a human like you and me, who have worked hard to build their money. And he said, I just want to have this conversation with you to let you know, like, this is my wife and I's money. You know what I mean? And I said, of course, I respect that.
Yeah.
I value that. And I thank you for trusting me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't 100% me. It was the numbers. Right. They saw it was a good deal, so they decided to do it. But the fact that I'm going to make it into a flip that's going to be worthwhile. Yeah. Right? Like, so, and then he even said, once this goes well, we're excited to do it again. So it's momentum. It's repeat business. Repeat business.
I was able to scale because people learned they could trust me right away. Right. I'd rather die than have my angel investors or my hard money people
lose money.
Yes. And so their money
is my money.
Is first in, first out.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Like if I were to lose money for those people, I would feel I'd have to repay them. I literally would go back and work at my flight attendant job for 2 years to repay them the money. You know what I mean?
They know that. They can sense that in you. I
think that's what it is. Right. So I think that too in the real estate business is having that energy of, integrity. Real quick pause and reverse a little bit. When we were in the hot tub in our last Tiger Lily, we talked about how you got started. Yeah. And I was like, but Grace, how did you find that first deal? Like, how did I find my first flip? Like, how do you find these incredible deals when you don't have the connections, right? You don't have the hard money lender. Right. And what I found out from you in that hot tub is that, while we were naked, is that you took a course.
I did.
You took a course.
I did.
I took a course. I took a course without knowing you took a course.
Yeah, and it was a fix and flip wholesale course, and it was called The Matrix, and it was $5,000, which was an astronomical amount of money.
I took real estate skills, which was $7,000. Yeah, which I literally had to put on 2 credit cards. Yeah, split between 2 credit cards because I didn't have $7,000. Exactly, but we didn't even talk about this.
So I regretted it for like the first day, and I was like, oh my God, I had buyer's remorse, and I was like, I wonder if they'll give me my money back. Like, I don't know if I'm comfortable spending this much money just to learn. And then Grant Cardone, do you know who he is? He's like a big real estate guy. He's like, you have to spend the money.
You have to
He
invest.
said, I took a course and it was $250,000, but I made $1 million in the like he's on another level.
Relevant. It's all
right?
Yeah.
Right? And it made me feel a lot better. But what I got from that course was a solid foundation in the steps you need to do to become a wholesaler. And we've talked about this a little bit. Like, wholesaling is where you start if you don't know where to start in real estate and you don't have any money, because it's the trenches. It's the hard work. It's the
hard shit.
Pounding the pavement, knocking on doors, skip tracing people. Yep. It is not easy. Knocking. It is so hard. But you learn construction because you learn what's wrong with a property and how to negotiate. You learn negotiation. You learn CMA, you learn comping. You learn everything.
Yep.
And if you come out of wholesaling with a little bit of money in your pocket, but a vast knowledge, that's the bottom of the pyramid to me. That is the basis.
Absolutely.
I hate wholesaling, and I have no problem as a flipper and as an investor paying a wholesaler.
Yeah, because they do a lot of fucking work.
They bring me properties.
Yeah.
And I know how hard it is for them.
Yeah.
So I will pay that fee all day long.
Yeah.
But you have to start somewhere, and that's an incredible place to start.
Yeah. I think it's really the place to start.
Yeah, I agree.
If I may. Because honestly, when I talked to you in the hot tub that day, I mean, my mind was blown. Because of course you're busy, I'm busy.
And we never really talked about wholesaling before. Yeah. Why would we?
Yeah, and it's just like, but it's like when I signed up for that course, I was so, I mean, I had a good, like, I don't know. You know how we are. So we go back to
intuitive feeling.
I had an intuitive feeling that like I needed help. Yeah. Because I bought the, what's it called? Bandit signs that you put out. I buy houses, call, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I bought those and I did my mailers and I was sending it out and I was not getting anything back. Right. So I was spending. I wasn't getting anything back. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know where to go. All I know is I needed a fucking good deal because I wanted to flip a house and I did not know where to start. But I knew I had to rely on me because I didn't know wholesalers. I didn't know hard money lenders. I just had to go. Right. So I just started. But then I was, of course, on Instagram and I was Googling wholesale and I was Googling this and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And then I found, for me, and I will give a shout out to Real Estate Skills with a Z. And for some reason, it was Alex Martinez who did this little thing. And I connected with him because I felt like he was on our page as far as respecting people.
Yes.
He was a blue ocean, right? Marketing versus red ocean. Did you ever read that book or do you know about that book?
No, but it's really easy in real estate to spot people that are only out for themselves.
You say it's easy because you have a gut. It's hard. It's hard if you don't trust. You know what I mean?
No, and that's so true. Yeah. You have to trust your intuition. Yeah. And you have to be like, is this person a good person? Yeah. But I have said since day one, and I will maintain this forever, it is entirely possible in real estate for every single person working for you to be paid a living wage and for you to still make money. Yeah. You should never be screwing over your wholesaler, your tiler, your contractor. Everybody can make money in real estate. And I don't tolerate somebody who cuts off their nose to spite their face and undercuts the little guy. Or like, honestly, there are certain people I just will not do business with because I think that they're shady.
Of course. Absolutely. 100%. It all goes to that gut. And I think at the end of the day, we all do have that sense.
That intuition. Yes.
But in our society and stuff like that, it can be squashed, like overanalyzed.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, you need to follow that. And when I found Real Estate Skills and I saw this guy talking, I was like, okay. I feel like he's good people. Like, yes. I get his marketing. I get his ways. I want to do this. So I had one of those calls and there I gave over my 2 credit cards, for the split and I paid. And because of that course, which at the same exact time, I was getting my real estate license. Yeah. So as anybody knows, that's a lot of work. I was taking my real estate license course. I was designing. I was flying almost full time while designing. taking the real estate skills course to learn how to wholesale, getting my real estate license, and having a 10-year-old, 9 at the time, she was a 9-year-old child, being single mom. Like, it was a lot. But I was literally on the treadmill, looking at the videos. Anytime I was in the car, I mean, Netflix, what the fuck was Netflix? Like, I had no time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
This is called The Hustle,
it was called
ladies
The Hustle.
and gentlemen.
Yeah. Like, it was like either I was real estate agenting, investing, wholesaling, all the things. But this is the thing. If I wouldn't have taken that class at real estate skills and wholesaling, I wouldn't have found my flip.
No.
That's how I found my flip.
Yeah.
So that $7,000, okay, it's a lot of money. But fast forward, and I wholesaled a house, which I only made $1,000 on.
But still,
I got the experience.
You did it from start to finish.
I did it from start to finish.
Hell yeah, you did.
And we need to talk about wholesaling because a lot of people probably don't know what that is.
Right.
But I wholesaled a house and I got my flip. And so that $7,000, like we talked about with the real estate, it's going to turn into $100,000.
Right.
So it's like, but you have to do the work.
No, and that's so true.
the thing.
And what courses do, if you are very clear on, I need help and mentorship with this, what courses do is they say, step 1, step 2, executable skills. 100%. So they take, you could go get all that information for free on YouTube, but you're going to be sorting through the weeds.
Exactly.
This was that point A to point B. And I think that's what we talked about mostly in the hot tub because you were really like second guessing yourself a little bit. And I was like, no, Christina, a course is exactly what you need because especially if it's tailored for California.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, mine was outdated. It was 5 years old and for Arizona. Like it wouldn't have helped you. The contracts were different. Everything was different. But there is something to be said for taking the advice and wisdom of people that have already done it and executing on their advice. And this is that same thing. Only take advice from people who are doing what you want to be doing.
Circling back to Anthony Robbins, that's exactly what I remember in when I was married back in 1998.
Yes.
And that's what he said. He goes, you don't have to do it all. You don't. You don't have to know it all. No. You just have to know the right people who know how to do it.
Right.
Because it takes a team. And that's really the bottom line. I mean, I have the most amazing contractor, Simon in the desert, who will basically do whatever you want in a timely manner. And I couldn't do it without him.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
It's a team.
Yeah.
It really is a team.
I used to freak out. I had this one buying spree one Christmas time. I don't know what it is about people wholesaling their houses around Christmas. They want the money. They just want to dump the property, whatever. Right. I bought 5 houses in 1 week, sight unseen, because I knew the addresses. And they were like,
here in the desert?
Yes. And they were like, if you want this house, you have to say now. You have to say yes right now. And I said yes. And like over the course of 1 week, I bought 5 houses sight unseen. And they were all amazing, right? But one of them gave me a panic attack because I walked in and it was a hoarder house and there were like 8 dead cats in the house. And I freaked out and I'm like, how am I going to do this? And then I remembered I have a magical contractor.
You don't have to do it by yourself.
And I handed him the keys and I handed him a check and it was dealt with. I didn't have to do that. I didn't rent a dumpster and put on gloves and shovel cat carcasses. I did not do that. That wasn't my part of the job. Right. But I had to, like, what did I buy? Scott was like, my husband was like, I don't know about this one. I'm like, it has good bones under the cats. So bad. So bad. Yes. But it's so true. And like that is the theme of this episode is having a team. Yeah. You don't have to do everything. You just have to have people you can call. Yeah. If I don't know the answer, there's about 6 people I can call at any given time and say, hey, can I just run something by you?
Yep, 100%. Do you remember when I called you for this flip?
Yes.
And I was like, okay, Grace, I was like, you need to help me understand something about hard money.
Yes.
I was like, remember? I was like, points. Because there's points and there's interest rates.
Yes.
And you literally took 45 minutes of your time for nothing because, of course, you just love me. And, this is what we do for each other.
This is the job.
This is the I love it.
Thing. No, but I do it for free. I have mentored so many people over the course of my life because I will talk about real estate ad nauseum to anyone who will listen to me.
Exactly. But you stepped it. So points are just a percentage rate. You just have to remember points percentage. So we had to pay 5 points or a percentage rate of whatever the purchase price was. So what
5 points is kind of high.
Well, no, it was 2.
Damn.
Sorry, it was 2.
Okay.
But because I was thinking $5,000. It was 2 points, which was $5,000 because it was a $250,000 loan to be exact.
Yes.
So that's where that comes from. But you stepped me through it, and because it was less percentage rate, more points.
Yes.
Or less points, more percentage rate.
So and lenders do this because they're going to get hard money lenders are going to get their money whether you want to give it to them or not.
Yeah.
So what you have to calculate with hard money loans is how long are you going to hold the house?
Right. So in my case, it was a 4-1, meaning 4 bedrooms, 1 bath.
Yes.
We're making it a 3 bedrooms, 2 bath.
Yeah.
We're taking one of the bedrooms, which is adjacent to the bedroom, and making it an ensuite.
Okay.
So
like a big closet.
Yeah.
Big primary walk-in.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. So it's going to be really beautiful, and it's like its own little walk-in area, but we have to get that approved by the city.
Right.
So we knew that was going to take probably an extra month or 2, because anytime you get the city involved with stuff, it takes time.
Pain in the ass.
So we decided to go on paying the 2 points up front and the less interest rate.
Which was the smarter.
Right. I feel like it was a smarter thing to do because it wasn't just purely cosmetic, right? Like it wasn't like we actually did have to get the city involved.
Right.
Do all that. If it was going to be like a quick little just
turn and burn, they call them.
Yeah. Turn and burn. Yeah. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but you helped me step that through because as a new person in the industry, I was like, points versus
which one
do I do? Like, help me. And then I didn't even know, like, as a hard money lender, if you still had to pay closing costs and all that kind of, of course you do. You still have to pay all that stuff. So like our closing cost on the house was actually $10,000 more than I had anticipated just because I didn't know. But it's okay.
So with wholesale deals, we'll just tell our audience.
Talk about wholesale.
With wholesale deals, the buyer always pays all the closing costs.
The buyer?
Typically, the buyer. So the investor buying the wholesale house.
Oh, right.
Always gets past all of those fees.
Sure.
And the way that they frame it is they say net to seller. Mm-hmm. So the seller is going to get X amount of money. Nothing else is going to come out of that money. Mm-hmm. So it's always pushed on to the buyer. But that you're still, if you're buying a wholesale property off market, usually you're buying a property with equity already in it even before you do anything to it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So your property that you bought for $360, if you were buying that on the MLS, what would it have been listed for?
Okay, so in full transparency, the real estate skills wholesale course that I took taught you how to find properties on the MLS that were actually like motivated sellers that you could go and negotiate,
which is genius,
right? So
why reinvent the wheel,
right? So that's what I talk about: blue ocean versus red ocean.
Okay,
because so the whole premise of that book, it was a book, and I remember this book back in my 20s. So this had to be in this is a very old book.
Is this red ocean like shark bite?
Yes,
like
exactly.
Blood in the water?
Exactly. Blood in the water.
Okay.
Exactly. That is the premise of the book. It's a very old book, and I wish I knew more about it, but it's a marketing book. And it talks about that thing. And so he mentioned that. And the minute he mentioned that, I was like, I read that book. I relate to that because I'm not a fighter. I am just not. You
don't have to be.
But you don't, right? Exactly.
And also, I think that's a really old school way of being in real estate is this like
or business
machismo, like I step on the little guy. That is not the energy, the collective. Read the room.
Read the room.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So of course, my energy is much more our energy that we are all prosperous, that we can all, I want to benefit. I don't want to take your house if it's going to be a detriment to your whole family. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that energy.
No.
Like, I just want a benefit of all. You want out of your house, I can give you a solution. That's the win-win.
Perfect.
So what he talks about in the real estate skills is basically finding homes on the MLS that basically you look for keywords like motivated seller, the pictures that aren't great, that the house isn't staged.
It's just the outside.
It's just the outside, exactly, 1 or 2 photos, and then you just contact the agent, and then you say, hey, I am Christina. I'm a real estate investor. I'm interested in buying, in seeing your house, making an offer, all these kind of things. And so that's how I found the house. It was on the MLS for 1 day. Because, of course, it's all about because you're not the only one, right? Looking up the MLS. So it was on the house for 1 day. But I will tell you, Grace, talk about that gut instinct. I went on the MLS because every day this course teaches you, and I do it to this day, you get up in the morning, you look, you do your hot sheet, right? And there's different ways to get access to the MLS besides being a real estate agent. There's a lot of different ways. If you take the course, you'll find out. But anyway, you do the hot sheet, and you find out what's hot. And I did it. And when I saw that house, it had a really cute orange door, and there was something about that interior. I literally got chills, and I was like,
that's my house.
I was like, this is my flip.
Right.
I was like, I want this house. I love this house. I just felt it.
Right.
And so I called the agent, and she was amazing. And I told her I wanted to make an offer. She said, okay. I made an offer. So it was on the market for $370. I offered $350. No, I offered $355 because I looked at all the comps and nothing was less than $500. Nothing in that area was less than $500,000. Kind of like yours.
They were priced for a quick sale.
And that's what she said.
Yeah.
Because what happened was 2 women or whatever people went in on this, and they ended up not getting along. So they wanted to get rid of it. So they basically sold it for what they bought it for, but they just wanted it off their books.
Dump it.
They wanted to dump it. And I was there. I was the first person. I called. I made the offer. They accepted. So it was on the market for $370. I offered $355. They said we need $360 to break even. I said, fine, take my extra $5,000. And we closed in like literally 10 days because it was cash.
Yes.
Cash offer, because that's what you can. That's the beautiful thing about learning how to wholesale is that I offered a cash offer, quick. Closing. I offered, pretty close to what they wanted, a little less, but they were like super low anyway.
Tiny inspection period.
No, there was basically, I said 7-day inspection, which was basically just me and my contractor. Can we make this work? Yeah. And then that was it. And it was done. And we were closed in 11 days. Like it was so quick.
This goes back to that whole adage about how everything can be fixed in real estate.
Right.
Some people would get hung up on the 7-day inspection period. Right. Well, I need to scope the sewer line. Oh, I need to. Yeah. You know what? If you buy for the right price, you have enough of a buffer to even do things like replace the sewer line without worrying too much.
Right.
And if you're already hiring a contractor to do everything else, trenching and doing a new sewer line doesn't take that much time or money.
It's not going to be that hard, right?
It's not that big of a deal. But that's the kind of thing that people get spun out on. Like, oh, the roof is in imperfect condition. No, you don't want it in perfect condition when you're flipping and wholesaling.
Well, of course, things like that happen because
happens all the time.
During our flip, I have it on my Instagram. We went to take down a wall to make the adjacent bathroom, and it was literally a cinder block wall.
Nice.
Pure concrete, cinder block.
Supporting
wall. So we couldn't make.
Nope.
We couldn't do it. So anyway.
So you pivot.
Yep. We had to pivot.
Yep.
That's it.
That's what you do.
That's what it's all about.
Right.
But to me, honestly, that's the stuff, even though at the moment it's a little daunting, it's what I love.
Right.
I love it.
No 2 days are ever the same.
Yeah, and it's problem solving. It's like, okay, give it to me. Right. Come on, how are we going to be creative? It's like bags as a flight attendant.
Yeah.
You're trying to put bags.
Bag Jenga.
Tetris.
Bag Tetris.
Yeah, you're just like
bag Tetris.
Yeah, exactly.
Get everybody's
and
bags
then you
up
do
there.
it all right, and then everybody in the cabin claps for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, thank you.
Give it
much.
Thank you very much. So,
yeah.
So just this week, this is like the fun part about being a real estate investor. I'm just kidding. I have had to replace a sewer line. I have had to replace a heating and air conditioning unit because the fuse blew. I don't know what happened, but in the process of this heating and air conditioning unit exploding, it ruined the whole electrical panel. So I had to replace the panel. Oh, I have had to replace a dishwasher motor.
This week?
All this week. what's today?
Stop it.
Monday? No, last week.
Okay.
Last week.
Yeah,
all last week.
Within 7 days.
So within the last 7 days. And then I also had to replace a washer dryer because it was a stackable 1 unit. And there's 2 other things. Oh, my Section 8 property in Memphis, some guy showed up at it with a pickup truck and stole the fence.
What?
Because he said it was his fence. So the police got involved. I mean, like, this is the thing.
Oh my God.
You can't make this shit up. But you know what's so funny? My mom, I was telling my mom about all this last week, and she was like, wow, 10 years ago, this would have made you like spiral out. But I'm like, you know what, Mom? It's always something. So you just ride the wave. You're like,
but
some weeks are amazing, and then some weeks just all hell breaks loose. Whatever.
But the thing is, you're here also on a Monday having this amazing podcast with a friend. Right. We hire this amazing guy named Brett to come and do this fun podcast. Right. It gives you the freedom. Because the thing is, no job out there is not going to come with its shit,
but I am a like business owner, boss. Yeah. I pick my kids up from school every day.
I just posted that on Instagram. The best thing about being a real estate agent, investor, whatever, is that yes, I get up, I deal with shit all day, but guess what? I can be there for my kid every day and pick her up from school. I can take her snowboarding on, you know what I mean, during the week if I want. Yeah. Skiing, you know what I mean? It's amazing. The freedom it gives you is also amazing.
It's not for everyone because some people need to have the accountability of a boss, like telling them what to do. Yeah. You and I do not have that. Yeah. I tell myself what needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm my own boss.
Yes.
For sure.
Me too.
I'm my own accountability partner. Right. Like people say you need an account. Oh no, I'm my worst. I am like, nobody could be harder on me than myself.
Same. Like, Scott's like, cut yourself a break. You did a lot this week. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I could have done more.
I only flipped 2 houses this week, Scott. I could have flipped 3.
I really did scroll TikTok for like 4 hours yesterday.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying though.
No, it's true.
It is there is a certain, of course, it's for a certain person. And I think our listeners or viewers, they know, you know.
Anyone interested in real estate that's listening to this totally vibes with this idea of being your own boss and making your own rules.
Because that's the appeal, right? Yes. And then like you have the passive income. Like,
yes.
Can we just talk for 1 minute about who is actually in your backyard right now? Like,
oh, yeah. Okay, so I house hacked my house. Let's talk about my house hack.
Yeah, let's talk about house
hacking. So I have this incredible historic home in a gorgeous palm tree lined street in a downtown neighborhood in Phoenix. It kind of looks like Beverly Hills, let's be honest.
Yep.
And every house is custom. It was built in the 1930s. And I bought this house and renovated the whole thing. And the coolest part about it is it has 2 apartments. And
well, you created 2 apartments. One was, I remember, a storage unit.
Yeah. Yeah. So now it's 3 apartments. And they're permitted. So don't come at me, neighborhood association. No, everything's permitted. But I have an upstairs apartment that is totally self-sufficient, and I have a downstairs apartment, and I have a travel nurse in the upstairs apartment and one in the downstairs apartment, and their monthly payment to me is my mortgage plus $1,500. So I don't pay a mortgage, and I haven't for the last year and a half.
Amazing. So house hacking, which Bigger Pockets talks about, which I'm a huge fan of Bigger Pockets. I will promote them all day, every day. Is so basically you take a house and you hack it, right? So right now, currently, I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And my goal by the end of the year is to house hack mine. I have the whole plan set out. I'm going to cut off a bedroom, which is kind of off to the side, because there's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath on this side. And then over here is just a bedroom. Yeah. I'm going to close that off, get rid of that door. It has its own side entrance.
Smart.
Make that. I'm going to take out the closet. I'm going to put the kitchen in right there. I'm going to add a kitchenette. Yes. But it's going to be a cute kitchen.
I believe it.
I have enough space.
Oh my gosh.
And then around the corner is going to be the bathroom in the middle.
Yes.
With a hallway and then a cute bedroom. And then the backyard, because in my current house, there is no way to the backyard from the house. It's ridiculous. Because it was like 1954. It was like there's no side door. There's no nothing to the backyard.
Yeah. That is so weird. Yeah.
So what's amazing about that, where I live in La Quinta Cove, a lot of times it's called front-loaded pools and jacuzzis.
You did this on your other house, and it's like amazing,
right? Exactly,
a front yard pool,
right? So it's very common, and
it's so cool.
It's so cool.
It's so cool.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the front yard. I'm going to put a jacuzzi. And it's going to be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, front-loaded unit.
Yes.
And then I have enough room in my backyard where I'm going to make a 1-bedroom, 1-bath with a jacuzzi in the backyard.
Oh my God.
Be there. So that's called house hacking. You take one house and somehow you chop it and you make it 2 houses.
Or you buy a duplex or a triplex.
Of course.
Or yes.
But house hacking is like, that's what house hacking is called. And the thing is, within California, right now, ADUs,
you're allowed to do it
no matter what.
You're
allowed to do it no matter what. If the city doesn't approve your plan in 6 months.
I thought it was 80 days. I think it's like
Larry
no time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, Northern California, it's like, if the city doesn't get back to you, it's an automatic approval. Right?
Okay. So I don't know. Larry, my hard dealer, told me it was 6 months, but maybe it's 80. I mean, every county, maybe it's different. Maybe 180 days, maybe.
Which is 6 months.
Yeah. But anyway, it's basically like, if you don't hear back, you're approved, because we're so desperate for housing.
Yeah.
So that's like, as soon as this flip is done,
yeah,
I'm taking the money and I'm going to reinvest it in a duplex, and I'm going to house hack my house. So then that way I actually will own 2 duplexes, 4 doors.
Yeah.
In a matter of a year. So it's like, house hacking's amazing.
Get it, girl.
Right?
Get it.
It's the best.
I fully support this.
Yeah. Because
it's so good.
But this is how it starts, though. Kind of how we mentioned on the last episode. My hair is falling out. But this is what we talked about, is that, like, it started with one house.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It always starts with just taking the action.
Get yourself on the ladder. Buy the damn house.
Buy the damn house.
Yeah.
That should be the name of this fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Buy the damn house.
Yeah, I know. Can we
buy the damn house?
Can we change this podcast name?
Absolutely.
Buy the damn house.
Buy the damn house. I mean, like, that's the point.
That is the point.
You know what I mean? Because you have to start.
You're right.
That's like, with anything, though.
Yeah.
With anything.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever it is that you want to do if you want to be a makeup artist, go get a job at Sephora.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Buy the damn house.
Yeah.
Do the damn thing.
My goal with this podcast is to literally just I'm just an average person, just be able to say, like, if I can do it, you can do it.
That's it. Oh my God. Literally, on my last Instagram post, I was like so excited about just who I'm becoming as a woman, what I'm doing. And that's what I said. I said, you know what? I look at it. And to be honest, I said about you, I said, if Grace can do it, why can't I do it?
Of course you can.
I mean, if I can do it, why the fuck can't she do it?
Anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it. If you have to be fearless.
Yeah.
You really do. You have to be fearless.
You do.
And you have to know, okay, so let's go back to Spanx really quick.
Do we
know Spanx?
Yes.
Right? Those underwear that like suck it all in.
Sarah Blakeney, is that her name?
Thank you.
Yes.
And I will tag her in this, and I love that one time I read something about her that said her father would sit down with her at the end of every evening and say, how did you fail today?
Yeah.
What did you
fail at? Yeah.
What did you fail? Right?
Yeah. He was like, tell me what you failed at.
Exactly. Because if you don't fail,
you're not trying.
You're not trying.
Exactly.
And so the other day, Brooklyn, she has a brother from her father, and they were ice skating, and she said her brother has never fallen ice skating. And I said, okay. I said, well, that means he's not pushing himself.
Yeah.
He's staying in his comfort zone, which I totally understand ice skating, because I don't want to fall and break a hip. So I'm not going to push myself. But when it comes to like life and real estate and goals and whatever it is, what you want to do with yourself, you better fucking push yourself.
If you're not breaking bones, what are you even doing?
What are you doing? You've got a whole right side of them. Let's talk about that. Like, you've got a whole right side full of broken bones. Like, right?
2022 is not my year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right?
No, it's true. It's so true. And honestly, maybe this comes from growing up really poor, but I know how to be poor, right? So what's the worst that could happen?
Right.
Maybe that's what makes me fearless. And also, like, I'm not really in this for the money. The money's fun. The money's great. Don't get me wrong. This is about the adventure and the joy and the the feeling when you walk into a house that was full of dead cats and now is going to be someone's forever home and it's stunning and people talk about it and they're like, did you see that house?
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
That's the joy.
Right? It's just, it all goes back to beauty for me.
Right.
Like, I love beautiful things.
Right.
I love beautiful houses.
Right.
I want to make the world more beautiful.
Right.
One house at a time.
Michael Jackson. To make the world a beautiful place. Wait, is that right? Is that the song?
Elsie
Make
DeWolf.
No.
What are you singing? What are you singing? Goofball.
Wait, there's a song.
Okay, so
there's a song in there somewhere.
So
Make the,
are you talking about heal the world?
is that what
Make it a better place?
Yeah. Oh my god. You are so funny.
I can't even. Christina.
I started.
Okay, so Elsie DeWolf was one of the original interior designers.
Oh.
And she has a famous quote that I have on my business cards. I am going to make everything around me beautiful, and that will be my life. And that's
your thing.
That's my thing.
I get it.
That is my thing.
I get it.
If it's not pretty, I don't want it.
Right. Yes.
Yes, I know. Yes. I want you, darling. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. No, I get it. It is all about and giving that beauty back because you are really one of the most generous people, that I know.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, it's when you're not attached to things, it's easy to give. And like when you understand the laws of attraction, the laws of the universe too, anything you give out returns to you. You never have to give with any sort of fear of being in lack because anything you give always returns to you.
Well, it's actually the bottom line of getting is giving. Right?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, so my current flip, as you're working on yours, all I think about is like, okay, if I was going to buy this house, what would I want? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, well, how much money am I going to make on this? And how much money? It's like my real goal is like
solving a puzzle.
It's solving a puzzle.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, I would want storage. I would want this.
Right.
What do I want? Because I'm not trying to screw anybody.
That's what makes us such good designers, Christina, because and this is no hate to men, but male flippers, they just buy the cheapest stove, the cheapest fridge, the cheapest whatever, and throw them in there. And there's no thought to a kitchen layout.
Right.
But I cook, you cook.
Right.
I go, if I was cooking in this kitchen, what do I need? I just fought with I didn't fight with him. He's the loveliest man ever. My contractor and I went back and forth in this flip I'm doing because I said, I'm sorry, the majority of people are right-handed. Right. So the 48 inches to the right of the stove always needs to be prep space. It is non-negotiable.
Right. Exactly.
Because that is where you reach for ingredients and you cook. And I'm sorry, but that's where you put your spices. And that is how it needs to look.
Absolutely.
In my kitchen.
Absolutely. But on that same note, I just got in a discussion with my contractor because I think discussions are very important.
Yes.
But I think that's the thing is that when it comes to, as we were circling back to relationships.
Yes.
Right? Me and Simon, my contractor, we are friends. We are friends first before
me and Gio too.
Like,
absolutely.
And so what's amazing about that is that we got into an altercation, of course, because that happens. Because
was this about the doors?
Yes.
Yeah.
The French doors.
You want to talk about it?
Well,
you can talk about it. You don't have to. You could even vent. Is he going to listen to this?
Maybe.
Okay. So be nice, but definitely tell the people what's happening.
Okay. So in our flip, there was this area that had it was an existing, you could tell, and he could tell, of course, because he's been doing it for years and he's super talented, that there were pre-existing French doors in this area that somebody filled in. Just like filler.
Yeah.
So it's going to be super easy. He said, just punch it out. Put in some French doors and it'll open up to the backyard. And of course, because he feels like the house is landlocked right now, which there's only one way in and out. And so I was like, okay, fine, let's do French doors. And then when he came back to me of the cost of the French doors, it was 10% of our entire budget. And so I freaked out because I was just I wasn't expecting that.
Didn't you already have French doors though? Used ones in your...
I did, and I had used French doors, which were not,
They were free.
They were free, but they were not usable.
He couldn't make it work.
Okay. Yes. But.
Sorry, I'm being more harsh. Sorry, Simon.
Yes. But anyway, so then he bought these new French doors and he put them in and I freaked out about the cost. But the thing is, though, at the end of the day, it took us like a week to get over it because we were both pretty hurt about the situation.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, though, we just had this conversation because this just happened. Was today Monday? It was a week ago Sunday that it happened, that this altercation happened. And we finally both got over it. And I said to him, I was like, you know what? What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Yeah. And so from that lesson, now he teases me, well, I know you want to be frugal, Christina. Like, I know you want to, like, everything.
Damn right I do.
Yeah, that's right. It's a flip.
A flip is not. It's not
extravagant.
A forever home.
Right.
Remind him, this is what I tell anybody who's flipping. $20 a square foot tile and $2 a square foot tile, when shopped correctly, look nearly identical. If you pour your heart and soul design-wise into a flip and you splurge for the $20 a square foot tile and the buyers buy the house and rip the tile out immediately,
right,
are you going to be butthurt? Yes, you are. Mm-hmm. If you buy the $2 tile, are you going to be upset? Probably not.
Yeah.
Your goal is to make it beautiful and functional and done on a budget.
Yeah, on a budget. That's the thing.
This is not interior designer and Saks 200 a square foot tile land.
Right.
No, this isn't. No.
So I told him, so in our flip, we had to take out the entire, of course, kitchen cabinets. Like they're not the best, right? So we need to get all new ones. But I told him to save those cabinets.
So you could lacquer them and do something else with them?
Yeah, because there's a whole little like niche area behind the living room.
Yeah.
And we're going to paint them white.
Good.
And put them all in that area.
Built-ins. Extra storage.
Extra storage.
Damn right.
Right?
That's what buyers love.
Thank you.
You know that.
That's right. So they're going to have this whole extra storage area of these, but they're free because they were the kitchen cabinets that I moved to the bar area. And I was like, save them, paint them white. It doesn't matter that they're not perfect.
You were born to do this. I'm just going to say, this is, I'm just so proud.
This is one of those fabulous.
This is exactly what I would do. No, and you're with the right contractor, even though you had a disagreement about these doors, but it's really good it happened now.
Yeah,
because you're setting a hard boundary of price matters, because if we do this the right way, we will make a profit and we'll be able to stay in business and do more of these, which is your ultimate goal.
Yeah, I want to flip, hold. I want to grace the shit out of this.
Right.
Like I want to. Oh, that's cute. Grace the shit
I'm impressed.
Thanks. Yeah. So anyway, yes, exactly. So yeah. So that's basically where we're at the moment. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
This has been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm Christina with
Grace.
Christina Joy Realty. And you are?
I'm Grace Carpenter.
Grace Carpenter out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Grace Carpenter Designs.
And you can find her on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. You can find me on TikTok.
She loves TikTok. She is a TikTok. She's a little TikTok queen. I'm working on my TikTok.
I've gone viral for like the dumbest things ever, but it's actually really fun. I don't take it very seriously. I just have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
For sure. But I show my flips. And I talk about real estate and I talk about crypto.
And she's a thrifter.
I am a thrifter.
She is a thrifter. So she goes and finds amazing deals on at thrift stores and things like that, which I am not at all. But
well, I have a home staging company.
Right.
So I have a warehouse full of amazing furniture and a box truck and employees.
Makes
and
it all
the
happen.
things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is it. This is our second episode and we're super excited to be here with you guys. And we hope that you learned some stuff today.
Yeah.
And
buy the damn house.
Buy the damn house.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. If you're in Palm Springs area, you need to use Christina Joy. Christina Joy Realty. Because I am the best.
Yes.
I may be a new real estate agent, but I am not new to real estate.
For real. I love it.
Okay, love you guys.
Yeah, love you.
Bye.